Hi, I'm Ryan Mullenbeck, Market Development Agronomist with Cargill out of the Kindersley and Rosetown locations. I'd like to give you a quick update about herbicide residues and any carryover you may experience this year. We've had a lot of low moisture conditions last year, not a lot of snow this year, and not much rain to speak of so far into the growing season. So this can have a big effect on the crop that you're seeding this year, and we may need to take extra caution. So as you can see from this map, it was compiled by the provincial government, and it shows a risk factor for herbicide carryover, not only group 2s but all herbicides that could potentially carry over, based upon rainfall from June 16th to September 14th, 2020. And as you can see throughout most of the area, basically south of PA, south of Melfort, west of Yorkton, a large, probably 2/3 of the growing area in the province is affected to some extent. What we know is that with most residual herbicides, in-season rainfall following the application of that herbicide in 2020 is going to be most important to breaking it down. And these chemicals either break down through bacterial activity, which requires good moisture for the bacteria to be happy and healthy, or it requires moisture in the soil for the chemical processes to happen. Soil pH can also play a factor depending upon what chemical we're talking of. So there are a number of factors that help break down herbicides. Microbial activity is highest under moist but not saturated soils. Under dry or drought conditions, herbicide breakdown by microbes is going to be reduced, and carryover going into the next growing season can occur. In dry conditions as well, herbicide absorption to the soil particles may also increase. Additionally, the breakdown by chemical hydrolysis is slower when rainfall and soil moisture are limited during the growing season. And as well, temperature can play a factor. The optimum soil microbial activity occurs in June, July, and August when soil temperatures are warm. And outside that time frame, little breakdown can occur because the microbes aren't moving and they're slower growth and slower activity. Herbicides that are broken down by chemical hydrolysis can also slow down as chemical reactions are slower at lower temperatures. The soil texture and organic matter have a factor. As organic matter decreases, so does the degradation due to lower water holding capacity and less microbial activity. Soils with low amounts of clay have decreased absorption of residual herbicides, which increases the potential availability of these herbicides to sensitive roots next year. Potential for herbicide injury on subsequent crops increases as organic matter and clay content decreases. The pH of the soil is going to be a factor depending upon which chemical you're working with. Some chemicals in the group 2s, like the IMIs, persist better under low pH or acidic soils, where the sulfonylureas persist better under high pH. Products like Everest persist better with higher pHs as well. And group 5s like Sencor degrade slower when it's more basic soil and a high pH. Group 14s dissipate faster in high pH, and group 15s dissipate faster in high pH soils as well. So degradation varies across the field as we move into the low spots, the high spots, the hills. Soil texture, organic matter, pH, soil temperature, and moisture all vary across the field, and these are all different factors that will change the amount of herbicide residue and breakdown that occurs for you. The big takeaway for me from this map, though, is that throughout most of the province there is a strong chance that you may have some carryover. The issue with this map, of course, is that they may be able to get down to maybe an RM level, but certainly not a field-to-field level. And so it's up to you as the producer to do your due diligence and check things out. There are commercial soil tests available, but the soil test, of course, is only as good as the person collecting it. We know that if it's a moisture issue with these products breaking down, that a hilltop will definitely be affected a lot differently than the slough bottom. So the best advice that I can give you is to go back in your records, check which fields got sprayed with what and when, and then talk to the manufacturer to see if they have any concerns, to see if it's safe to follow the label recommendation as far as recropping restrictions go, or if you have to make any adjustments.